Hi folks, it's Professor Diffley. This is History 110, Unit 4. This is the third video here. So continuing on the Enlightenment. Sapere aude, as I said before, dare to know is the idea of that what best sums up the Enlightenment. This is here from a German philosopher, Immanuel Kant, Enlightenment thinker. He said that the Enlightenment was the courage to use your own understanding. People had to think for themselves, is what he wanted, and rely on reason. To question things, to think, is what we get from Kant here, and what the Enlightenment was. Again, a lot of this is spread by the Encyclopedia. The first one created by Denis Diderot, a Frenchman. Available volumes that collected all this knowledge about everything from glassmaking to animals to all that. It could be bought cheaply, one volume at a time, but could also spread around the world. You didn't have to just be in these centers of learning in Europe there. Here's some images from the original encyclopedia. Gives you an idea of different things that were in there. Ben Franklin was the embodiment of an American Enlightenment figure. He had Poor Richard's Almanac, collecting a lot of this knowledge for people out there. Conducted experiments. The most famous, the kite and the key to prove that that lightning was electricity. But yeah, more than anybody, he tried to live this life of questioning, of trying to know things like that. The Great Awakening, again, you can see this in the videos on Blackboard, very good video on it. This is a religious revival movement. People really did want a more personal, more emotional religion, and there was a feeling, this happens, there's two Great Awakenings, this is the first one, and that people are getting too away from religion, even, it's in many ways a reaction to the Enlightenment, as people are getting away from from religion. The Enlightenment's about secularization. We have to think, we have to question, that sort of thing. Some people went the opposite way. And it was brought here. Jonathan Edwards, Whitefield, others were very popular here in New England, including in Enfield in Connecticut and throughout Massachusetts. But you can see the videos on that. These are the famous evangelical preachers preaching a sort of born-again religion. And not the born-aganism in the sense that's a loaded term, so don't think of it that way, but you'll see the video. It's more being born again in God. Sometimes people can take born-aganism and have a negative connotation. That's not what's meant here. But yeah, you can see the video and all that. Some more. Imperial rivalries all throughout North America. Again, this is best seen in the 7 Years War videos, but which is also part of the Great Awakening one. Spanish are here, the French will eventually lose, spoiler for the 7 Years War, the French lose. We call it the French and Indian War here, that's the way you may have heard of it. The 7 Year War is the British colonies and Britain against France and its native allies, and France will lose its colonies in North America and Canada especially. But you could see all of that in there. The Spanish are still in California here. It's going to be a while before the U.S. Later in the Mexican War will take the West Coast and the Southwest from Mexico at that point. Mexico. Here's a view of the empires in North America. The middle ground. Again, you can see this middle ground was the Ohio River Valley. It's called the middle ground because no one really fully controlled it. Native Americans and Europeans lived side by side. It wasn't completely controlled, but it was a battleground for all of this, again, and you can see this on the videos there. Pontiac's Rebellion, in this area, you will see that the Native Americans, again, read the notes section here. I wrote, there's a fair amount of writing here for this. Pontiac's Rebellion, in trying to drive out the Europeans. There'll even be a sort of messianic vision from Nealon and others. It failed, unfortunately, for the Pontiac and his peoples in the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley regions. It did not work, and you can see that's in there. And then you can see colonial identities become hardened in the 7 Years War. They see that they served a lot in this, and this we'll look into that. This is a famous cartoon. Many people think this has to do with the I'm sorry, not the Civil War, way too far for that. The Revolutionary War, War of American Independence, but this is actually more about the colonies joining together to fight off the French in the French and Indian War, 7 Years War. And so that is it for the slideshow. for this week. Again, you have any questions, always let me know. Make sure you read the notes, take a look at the videos, watch them a couple times, take some notes there. But all right, well, thank you. Let me know if you have any questions.